Hi guys, and welcome back to Chex-Mex. It's Gariana here. So it's that time of the week again where it's my turn to post a video. So today's video is gonna be a story time. This happened on the day of one of my best friend's birthday parties, right? So me and one of my other best friends, Trinity, we went to a grocery store. I don't know if I'm gonna put the name in here. We'll see. But anyway, we went to this grocery store and we were there to get my best friend brownies for his birthday party and like other little snacks because I was like, oh, I gotta get him something. We gotta get him something. So we went to the store. And when we went to go pay, it was me, Trinity, and my brother. We were all waiting in line. And I told my brother, like, oh, go put this back. We don't have enough money to get it. I think it was like honey buns or something. Doesn't really matter. But, so he went to go put it back, and then it was me and Trinity, and we were waiting in line. And there's this guy behind us, like some older white dude. And we were in self-checkout. So someone left, was finished checking out. And we're about to go, but this dude cuts in front of us, and we're like, I mean, I guess okay, we're not in a hurry, it's whatever. And then the person in charge of self-checkout, the employee, she goes to the guy and she's like, hey, they were here before you and stuff, would you mind like going back in line because they were here before you? And the guy's like, oh yeah, sure, no problem. So we're like, oh, okay, I guess we'll get to go before. So we went and we're at the little machine to go pay and stuff. And like I open it, I put like my dad's ID to get the discounts and stuff because they have like one of those little card things. And the guy all of a sudden like comes up to me and Trinity and he's like, I don't see why I have to go back in line, like telling the employee this. So like he goes next to me and my friend, and then he's talking to the employee, and he's like, I don't understand why I have to go back in line if I was here before them. If it's not my fault if they weren't paying attention to what they were doing. And I was like, dude, you know, he's just being really rude to this employee. And she's like, I know this employee because I go to that store a lot, and she's like so sweet and super nice, you know. So it's just like, really? So I told him, I was like, sir, go ahead, use it. Like, it's not that big of a deal and stuff. And he was like, whatever, we'll wait. And then he goes, yeah, that's how it should be, and all this stuff. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna let that go. So the machine next to him ended up opening up. So me and my friend were there, and my brother was still putting the stuff up because he takes a long time, but I was happy he took a long time in this moment. So the guy is basically kind of yelling at us, saying like, oh, like, since we're children, like, we should respect him and all this stuff, and that we should pay attention to what we're doing, and that, like, people like us and kids like us and people our age and all this stuff, like, we're so disrespectful and we're so rude, like, yelling this at me and my friend. So I was like, excuse me, sir, you don't need to be yelling at us. We already gave you your spot. Can you please, like, just let it go? And then he just got even angrier. So maybe not the best thing for me to have done, but I was angry at the moment because I was like, you already got what you wanted. I don't get why you're still here telling me and my friends stuff. So he just got angry and started like screaming at me, and he just kept screaming like, y'all are so disrespectful and all this stuff, and like basically, y'all are kids, y'all shouldn't be telling me stuff, you shouldn't be doing anything and all this stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm a really emotional person. Like, if I feel something, I react to it really quickly. So this dude's yelling at me, like right next to me, yelling at me, And I'm like, okay. So I'm just looking at the machine, trying to buy my stuff. I just started ignoring him halfway through. And I was like, because I can't deal with this. If I look at him, if I say something else, I'm going to start crying. So my friend was next to me, and she just had her hand on my shoulder. She was trying to keep me calm. And my brother came back. So I told him, I was like, hey, don't look at that dude. Don't talk to that dude. Don't do anything. Like, just stay next to me, you know? Stay on this. I told him to stay on the side that the man wasn't at. And so my brother was confused, and he was like, what's going on, Kari? Like, what's going on? And I was like, nothing. I'll tell you when we leave, okay? So we scanned everything. We bought everything. We started heading to the car. And oh my gosh, you guys, like, it was so emotional heavy. And then to make things like even more emotional, or like it heightened my emotions. It made me feel so bad because the employee that was doing self-checkout, like, me and my friend and my brother, we walked out of the store, and we were like, because there's like the store and then this little area where you put the baskets and everything, so it's also the exit. So that's where we were going, and the self-checkout lady took it upon herself to go to that little area where the exit was, where we were at, and she was like, hey, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. And like, the fact that she apologized for that man, I was like, oh my gosh, you know? I felt so bad because that's not something she should be apologizing for. Like, that's on him. It's a grown man yelling at like 2 17-year-olds, you know? And like, it's not okay. So she was like, I'm so sorry. And like, I started to cry because I was like, how unfair is that, you know? To have to apologize for someone who was in the wrong when you didn't do anything. It was just, oh man. So my friend, my brother, and I, we walked to where my parents were because they were waiting outside in the car for us. And like, I was trying so hard not to cry, but I was crying. I couldn't help it. I couldn't hold it in, because after the cashier was telling me sorry, I was just like, it's not your fault, miss. But I felt bad that she had to apologize to me. And so we walked to the car, and my parents can tell when something's wrong with me. They're really in tune with me, and they're like, hey, what happened? What's wrong? Like, did my brother do something? And I was like, no, like, my brother was fine and stuff. And I was like, no, this man, like, he started yelling at me and my friend and stuff. And I was like, my brother wasn't there. And my dad got, like, so angry. My dad is the kind of person that, like, if you hurt his family, he's, like, gonna go after you. And, like, same. I get that from him. If somebody hurts my family, it's just, like, anger. I can't help myself, you know? But, so I was like, I just want to go. I just want to go to my friend's party. I just want to go. I don't want to deal with this anymore. I was like, Dad, let's just go. And my dad's like, no, we're going to look for this guy. So my dad ended up driving us around the parking lot. And he's like, where's the guy, Kari? Where's the guy? Is this the guy? Is this the guy? And then he pointed to the man that yelled at me. And he was like, is this him? And I didn't really want to say anything. And then both me and my friend were like, yeah, that's him. My dad stopped the car where we were at and got out, like, slammed the door, got out, and started, like, telling this guy off, like, did you yell at my daughter and all this stuff? And I was like, oh my gosh, Dad. You know, because I didn't want an altercation to happen. I kind of wanted to get over it because I didn't like the experience. And my dad ended up talking to the guy. My mom had to get out of the car to make sure that my dad stayed calm. And the guy was basically saying that I had told him to, like, shut up. It was being disrespectful to him, which I didn't. And my dad knew that the guy was lying because he knows what kind of person I am. Like, I would never tell an adult to shut up because I have more respect for people than that. If I see that there's a situation that's getting out of hand, I'm not gonna hide in it. I'm not gonna go like, shut up and all this stuff. I'm not that type of person. I don't like conflict. But he kept trying to say like, oh, your daughter was doing this and your daughter was doing that. Stuff that I wasn't doing. Like, yeah. And the guy was basically trying to say like that me and my friend cut him in line and we didn't. He cut us. We didn't try to make it a big deal. He's the one that blew everything out of proportion. And my dad was like, I know he's lying and stuff. And anyway, my dad was like, how are you gonna yell at a young child? You know, you're a grown man. Like, what are you doing? And the guy wanted to come to the car and apologize to me. And my dad's like, no, you're not going. You're not going. And yeah. So that was an experience. Yep. But you know, sometimes you go through things and it sucks, but I don't know. Learning experience, I guess. I figured out how to handle unpleasant situations like conflict and stuff. But yeah, it worked out in the end. Like, I don't know. I hope the guy like realizes that he shouldn't be making conflict with children. Shouldn't be making conflict with anybody, especially when he was in the wrong. Like, he cut. It's not like we cut. It's not like we told him anything. We let him go in front of us. We're like, whatever, it's not that big of a deal. But he decided to blow it out of proportion. But yeah, so that was my story time. That was an experience. If I have another story about that store, actually, like, a lot of stuff has happened at that store. Well, I mean, not a lot of stuff. I think it's just the other situation that happened. But if you want to hear about that situation, like, just let me know. Leave a comment. And leave a like. Subscribe. And yeah. See y'all next time. Bye.